Thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Scotty D. We're going to be doing a guitar setup today on this Martin D-41DF. That's the Dan Fogelberg. And this is a prototype 3 of 3. They also made 141 additional regular production Dan Fogelbergs that year. It was 2001. And this guitar is serial number 794743. We're going to figure out what we can do to make it play a little better, and then we'll sing a Dan Fogelberg song at the end of the video. So let's take a look inside of it. We'll get the endoscope inside of there, and we'll see what kind of features this guitar has, as well as what I'm going to do to set it up. Let's take a look. There we've got Dan signature and Chris Martin's autograph there, prototype 3 of 3. Also got the Dan Fogelberg inlay, abalone inlays, hexagon in an ebony wood fretboard with bound fingerboard edges. Also got an abalone binding ring and sound hole ring. Snowflake inlays in an ebony wood bridge. That's the first time I've seen that. It's beautiful. You know what? The story goes Dan Fogelberg wanted these in the fretboard, but Martin said no, they couldn't do it. D41's gotta have hexagons. That's a nice headstock inlay. Bound headstock. It's a good guitar. So Indian rosewood back and sides, mahogany neck, ivoryoid heel cap, Grover gold tuners. What do they call this? A diamond volute? I don't know what they call that. But I just noticed something that needs fixed. Sitka spruce soundboard with nice silking in it. Might even be a little bear claw in there. But right here, what's all this? What's all this goo? Someone spilled their coffee on here or something? Let me see what we can do to clean that up. I like to start with the least harsh chemical that I have when I'm cleaning unknown substances off a guitar. This is Simple Green. See how green it is? Yep, that cleaned it, but this will leave a haze on the finish. So let me buff that out. Well, I guess Dan Fogelberg passed away in 2007, and his wife took his guitars, some of his guitars, down to Gruen here in Nashville and had them appraised. And these typically go for like 5-6K. This one goes for about double that because of the prototype thing and because it was his, and there's documentation to show that. And we're going to take some measurements and see what I'm going to have to do to get it playing good. So yes, it has awful string action. It has 9/64 on the bass side at the 12th fret and 7/64 on the treble string. That's 3.5 millimeters on the bass side and 2.75 millimeters on the treble side. Can't play that. Let's look at the neck relief. Oh, so E standard tuning. We have a neck relief of -11. Okay, so 12 thousandths of an inch up bow in the neck. We can probably get that down to about 6 thousandths with a truss rod adjustment. We'll take the rest off of the tall saddle. See, that's a nice tall saddle. I'll end up skimming a whole bunch of material off the bottom of that saddle. And if it becomes where it's too low, we'll have to do a neck reset. But this is a super tall skyscraper saddle. We'll be able to shave that off there. Let's take a look inside this baby. Okay, now we're looking inside the guitar at the tail block. Here's the tone bars. There's 2 tone bars. Oh, there's a cleat going down the middle of the soundboard. Those are called finger braces. And there's the bridge plate, maple, and spruce X-brace. So everything looks good. Let's go over here. little tone ball. We'll come over here and we're upside down. There we go. So everything looks nice. That repair was done over at Gruen Guitars. It says that on the appraisal. And there's the tag. So anyways, it was fun looking inside. Here's a look at that crack repair from the outside. This is it right here. A good job. Those are the T.J. Thompson crack cleats. I use those. I like those. I pulled the saddle out so we can see that there's a number of shims glued to it. We'll get rid of those. We're going to hog that off. Dan Fogelberg was born in Peoria, Illinois, and he died in Maine, but his studio and where he lived was in Colorado. With no string tension, we've got a 1/1000th of an inch relief. I'm going to tighten this truss rod till it reads plus 5/1000ths of an inch relief. See what happens. That should work. Maybe one more tightening. Okay, now we'll take this down and trim it off. Okay, I'm going to take off 1 millimeter, which should get me about halfway there, but I'd rather just do it. I'll do it in steps. Tighten a little here, remove half here, and see where we're at. For those of you that are like first time viewing today, some of you know my routine, but my shop, the studio up here is up in the attic. I got to go down 3 flights of stairs to get to the garage where I have some industrial power tools like jet, Porter cable, grizzly, stuff like that. Anyways, I set this baby down on my stationary belt sander, and by the time I just about got to my line, it had heated up that bone to bone glue joint so much that that teeny last little bit of bone just pulled right off, a little sliver of it. I got right down to where the original saddle appears to be, right there. That's what it was before it was shimmed. So I'll take the strings that I tied up earlier, tied them up to the peg head, and I'll put them back in there, double check my measurements again. This might be the easiest setup I've ever done. And then if I need to make one more final adjustment, I'll make it. I'll pull the strings and then I'll put new strings on and I should be good. Should be just right. And this is great because with guitars with this type of value, you really want to do the very least amount of work possible to get it to be right. Like the cleats that Gruen put in, those T.J. Thompson cleats are so delicate. They're really easily reversible. Like if it cracked again, like right next to that cleat, and we needed to get that cleat out, it's super easy to remove that cleat. You just take a wet paper towel and lay it over top of it, flip the guitar upside down for 10 minutes, then you come in there with a razor blade and pop it off. And then you can re-glue the crack and reinstall a new cleat. Okay, good deal. 6/64 on the bass side, 12th fret. 4/64 treble E, 12th fret, action. Perfect. We got 2.25 millimeters on the bass side and 1.75 millimeters on the treble side. 12th fret. Perfect action. Let's check the relief. 8/1000ths of an inch relief. That's a respectable relief. Some people like it a little lower. Some people like it dead flat. This is a good start. This really is. This really is a good guitar. I'll be able to clean it up, oil the fretboard, get some Howard's Speed and Wax on her, maybe just some lemon oil. This board doesn't look dry, maybe just the lemon oil on this one. Yeah, Dan said, I wanted them snowflakes on the fretboard. I would have loved that. I'll just use Dunlop's lemon oil. That cool, refreshing drink. Get you some today. I used to have Dunlops. That was rough, dudes. Eating way too many carbs. Put a little on the bridge. You know what's really good for pick guards is this Plastex. It's for your headlights. And it only takes like the smallest, teeniest little bit. And you've got just a damn nice clean pick guard. Fresh and so clean, fresh and so clean. If you're in the market for one of these and you want to know all the nitty-gritty specs, it has a 16-inch fretboard radius all the way down. It's a cylindrical radius. It's not a conical or compound radius. It's just 16-inch. And the scale length on it is your standard Martin 25.34 inch. Our fret size is the regular Martin fret size, 79 thousandths wide by, well, these are down to 35 thousandths tall. Could have started off a little taller, I guess. I'm going to show you how I shine the frets up. Just a quick fret polish. Quick and easy fret polish. First I'll do steel wool. This is 4/0 steel wool. I'll do all the frets with this, and then I'll use a chemical polisher, a compound. Semichrome polish. I'll just take a tiny bit and get it on all the frets. And I'll just give it a quick, just like that. And look at this. Isn't that amazing? Look how shiny. Alright, so I got all the strings down in there. I'll tie them up here on the peg head. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, I have playlists. If you go to my channel, you'll find setups in a playlist, bridge plate repairs in a different playlist, finish repairs, fret jobs, neck resets. We got you covered. All different stuff, electronics. We have one playlist we have a whole series of different playlists, like unusual guitars of yesteryear. We do like the Tyscos and things, or fixing headstocks. You know, the Martin and the Gibson headstocks, they snap off once in a while. We also have a playlist where we look at fixing cracks in acoustic guitars. That one's called Say No to Crack. And stick around, I'm going to sing you a Dan Fogelberg song here in a second. It's going to be a lot of fun. Easy listening. Easy listening with Scotty D. These are the XT Phosphor Bronze 12 through 53 D'Addario. I knew this was a really good sounding guitar already because I had it hanging up over here on the wall over the last week, and I'd reach around and I'd grab a G note to tune up at the other guitar that I was working on, and that note would just punch right through the air like that. It's so punchy. Let's see if I could sing this Dan Fogelberg song. Longer than there've been fishes in the ocean, higher than any bird ever flew, longer than there've been stars up in the heaven. I've been in love with you. Thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I'll catch you next time.